At last, the Dark Lord of the Sith revealed himself, and Mace Windu and several other Jedi rushed off to face him. With this though, there is a glaring question that is left out of the Revenge of the Sith film. Why did Mace Windu not contact the head of his order? Why did Mace Windu not first contact Master Yoda? Greetings, Acolytes of the Force, and welcome back to the Archives. Darth Sidious had been the elusive Sith always at the edge of the shadows during the Clone War. Every time the Jedi believed that they were getting close to him or could capture him, he was truly, severely far away. It was only at the tail end of the Clone Wars that the Jedi discovered that he was right underneath their noses. But only in their worst nightmares would it ever come to light that Darth Sidious was the Supreme Chancellor himself, pulling the strings of both war and the entire Republic all along. The situation had just immediately hit DEFCON 1, and what was necessary was an immediate emergency council meeting. But instead, it seems that Mace Windu gathered the four masters and rushed off to arrest Palpatine personally. Rash action aside, even Windu recognized that Yoda would need to know this information. So why didn't Windu contact Yoda before taking action? Well, my friends, not all is as it seems. The film version of Revenge of the Sith happens at a rapid pace. Anakin reluctantly tells Windu that he learned what the Chancellor really was, and Windu realizes the danger that they are all in and assembles 3 Jedi Masters that he has on hand. Following this, immediately setting off to arrest the Chancellor. As far as we are shown, Yoda has no clue on what happened until he felt Order 66 through the Force, and received the transmission from Bail Organa on Coruscant as to what exactly was happening. From what it seems according to the film's version of events, all other Jedi Masters of the Council were busy at the moment with their various battles, all of which were all happening at the same time. Yoda was overseeing the Battle of Kashyyyk, Plo Koon was in the fight on Cato Nemoidia, Ki-Adi-Mundi was already about to land in the Battle of Mygeeto, and even Obi-Wan Kenobi had only just destroyed General Grievous and was wrapping up on Utapau. Everyone was preoccupied and basically unreachable, so naturally, Mace would need to act as soon as possible with whatever authority and resources he had available to him. According to his judgment of the situation, he was in charge of the Jedi, and therefore the future of the Sith fell squarely on Windu's shoulders. But we reiterate once again, this is how the film plays out, and as far as we know, this is how canon events play out as well. However, there are more secrets revealed to us in the Revenge of the Sith novelization, which is now unfortunately Legends. The sequence of events in the novel plays out a bit differently. For one thing, the conversation between Anakin and Windu where the truth is revealed about Sidious is a lot more dramatic, and the emotions of the two Jedi are a lot more drastic. But more importantly, Mace Windu does actually contact Yoda following the situation. However, their talk was private, extremely brief, and actually unknowable. We say unknowable because the way the novelization frames their conversation, we don't actually know what they talk about or what Yoda's reaction is when he learns the truth of Palpatine and Sidious. This is exactly what the novel says about this interaction. In the virtual nod space of the HoloNet, 2 Jedi Masters meet. To each other, they are blue ghosts, given existence by scanning lasers. Though they are light years apart, they are of one mind. It hardly matters who says what. Now they know the truth. For more than a decade, the Republic has been in the hands of a Sith, but now, together, blue ghost to blue ghost, they decide to take it back. Well, not to disagree with the book, but it actually does matter who says what. But unfortunately, we don't get any dialogue whatsoever, and this is all we know of the meeting between Yoda and Mace Windu, as well as Yoda's reaction to discovering that Palpatine is Sidious. So what did they actually talk about, and what can we infer? Beyond this though, why is it that Yoda gave Mace Windu the green light to go straight for the Chancellor's office and try to arrest the Sith Lord in control of the Republic? Luckily for us, we can draw from a few context clues earlier in the novel, in which to figure out Yoda and Mace's stance and what about this situation Yoda thinks, as well as why Yoda thought it was absolutely imperative to move as quickly as possible against Sidious. You see, early in the novelization, we get further secret conversations between Windu, Obi-Wan, and Yoda. It is in these conversations that the 2 Jedi Masters share a terrifying discovery with Obi-Wan, that being that they have traced Darth Sidious to Palpatine's inner circle. The Jedi had ruled out the possibility that Palpatine himself was Sidious, and instead thought that perhaps it was one of those of his entourage, such as Mas Amedda. However, they considered the possibility of Sidious hiding amongst Palpatine's guards. Their theory was that what Dooku had said was true, and that the Republic was under the control of a Sith. The Jedi believed that Palpatine was largely innocent, but was being manipulated by Sidious. Their plan was to forcefully take control of the Chancellor's office and the Senate by proxy, and at least this way, Mace Windu wanted to do the right way. Yoda was far more patient and reserved than Windu was though, desiring to first ensure that they had concrete proof that Sidious was in fact there. Because, should the Jedi move against the Chancellor, it would spell doom for all of them. Mace Windu's zealous nature was pushing him to go ahead and do something anyway, but Yoda thought this extremely dangerous and kept him from doing so, all in an effort of ensuring that they had suitable, irrefutable evidence. In this moment though, the evidence finally revealed itself in the form of Anakin's testimony, a trustworthy hero of the Republic and of the Clone Wars, someone who had been seen in the public eye endorsed repeatedly by Palpatine. For Anakin to come forward and tell the truth would have been enough, legalities aside. Through Anakin, they would have had the support of the Senate and the people, and their whole operation would have been backed, or so they thought. The political and socio repercussions were something of an afterthought at this point. Understand, the Jedi thought Palpatine was at least innocent and just being controlled. They didn't believe Palpatine himself was Sidious, and this is the absolute worst thing that could have happened. Even Yoda saw now that there were no time for policies, strategies, or politics whatsoever. If Sidious willingly revealed himself to Anakin, that meant that he was about to strike, and the time was of the essence. This was all the proof that Yoda needed to finally set Mace Windu off the leash and go charging after the Dark Lord. A Sith Lord had control of their beloved Republic, whom they swore to protect as Jedi. It was their sworn duty to fulfill that promise, no matter the cost. This was what Mace and Yoda were likely speaking of in this conversation. Canon and Legends continuities do have a tendency to deviate from one another in both small and extreme cases, especially in Revenge of the Sith. But this is one of those Legends events that I believe firmly fits as canon, since it only makes sense for this to have taken place. Despite the fact that Windu was terrified of the implications of Sidious controlling the Republic, he is still a Jedi Master and would have had mindfulness to seek the counsel of the Grand Master. But what do you think of this, my friends? Do you know if Mace Windu had contacted Yoda or not in canon? And what is your own headcanon? Do you think that Mace Windu believed that he just needed to move as swiftly as possible and had no time to contact Yoda? Or do you believe that Yoda gave him the go-ahead to go hunt down Sidious? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, my friends, may the Force be with you and have a great day.